Oh, sorry, just woken up from the most boring game of the season so far. But nonetheless, a game. So, hi and welcome to Arsenal Circle. Here to talk to you today about Arsenal versus BODO-GLIMT. 1-0 to the Gunners. And a good game. Just a pretty standard game. Yeah, there's really not much to talk about. But I am going to talk about the individual performances and what I saw. So, yeah, let's first off start with the lineup. So it's good to see Turner in goal again. That was nice. Obviously, there was no Jesus. He wasn't in training, but apparently that's just to rest him. So, it's fine. It's good to see Nketiah starting anyway, right? But yeah, so that's fine. And then we've got, so Turner, I was happy to see him. Ben White starting at right back, even in the Europa League, is interesting. Is Mikel Arteta fully changing Ben White to be a right back as his primary position? Maybe. It kind of looks that way, doesn't it? Because if you didn't want to do that, maybe you just play Ben White alongside Saliba, and then you could play Tomiyasu out on the right, or you could play anyone out on the right, really, right? But no, we kept Ben White out on the right, so that means Ben White out on the right. So that means, yeah, maybe he's going to turn into a right back. That's pretty interesting, I think. Oh god, I'm really, really struggling for things to talk about here. Elongating it. No, but Saliba, he looked like a rock as always. Really good performance from him. Was just solid today. Holding, yeah, as you'd expect. Yeah, it's nice to see him get minutes. I like seeing him get minutes, especially in Europe. It's good for him, I guess. Tierney. Yeah, Tierney started. I think I might have started Tomiyasu again and just see how that would work against a worse team and see if Tomiyasu has a bigger impact, or if maybe at the big games we should play him left back where he's got to face more difficult opposition, because I think defensively Tomiyasu would be our best left back. But, giving it a go against the smaller teams and then trying against bigger teams. That's what I thought we maybe would have done. But no, Tierney, I guess he does deserve minutes as well. Like, we can't ignore Tierney. Because he's still one of our leaders in our team, right? He's a really good player as well. But yeah. So, Tierney was there. That's just my thoughts on that. Sammy Lokonga and Fabio Vieira. See, it's not this. He wasn't playing CDM. But it was just interesting to see two number 10s playing in a 4-3-3. It was a bit, yeah. I guess I understand, but I don't see why Odegaard needs minutes. He doesn't need to play football. I guess that, he's playing against a Norwegian team and he's Norwegian or something. Maybe there's a link there. But I think it would have just been fine if we had Fabio Vieira and then we had Partey alongside Sambi Lokonga. Would have been nice just to solidify the midfield, I think. But it's fine. I will say that I don't think it's terrible. Like, it was terrible. It went fine. Like, again, there was nothing much that happened, right? There's not much to talk about, if I'm being honest. We had Saka, the goal scorer, Nelson, and Nketiah. And yeah, this is how I would have lined up our front three today. I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it another way. Sorry about that. And I do think that was the right decision to go ahead and start it with these three. Let me know if you think differently. But yeah, just a pretty solid game. Some things to talk about. Well, we'll start off with the goal. Look at the first half. 3 things happened. So we'll start off with the goal. Bukayo Saka, he got a lucky deflection, and that's literally it. It was it was just pretty average goal. But, Saka was playing well, and he deserved a goal in this match, I thought. And yeah, just props to him, I guess. Any other big performers that I wanted to talk about? Yeah, I obviously said Saliba had a really good game. Nelson, I was surprised. He wasn't outstanding as per se. He was good. He was fine, but nothing more than that. So maybe we need to give him another loan, give him some more time out abroad, or whatever. whatever it is, or maybe he needs to have a loan in the Championship, something in England, or we just keep him as a rotational player, someone who can stay on the reserves, because I think he would suit that role, like Marquinhos. But I do think we might loan out Marquinhos, depending on things, because Marquinhos, he is really a really promising player. I'll talk about him quickly because he came on off the bench in the 70th minute and he was pretty good, wasn't he? Tomiyasu was pretty good when he came on. Partey, I thought this was smart. This was just to see out the game, make sure we didn't concede something in the last minute, and we didn't. And yeah, so yeah, most of the other players here just had quite a standard performance. There was no standout player. You know, we were better on possession, shots on target, blah, blah, blah. You know, actually, it's pretty even. But, I mean, I guess the thing you got to look at, right, is you have to look at the fact that we're going all the way to Norway. So we're not going to have that much energy because we've gone all the way to Norway. And then we're playing against the crowd that are, you know, pretty lively. They're quite a good crowd. And, you know, full of them. There's, like, barely any Arsenal fans there, right? And then, in comparison. And then, we're also on a pitch that is not that great. So, I guess if you want to, you know, have some sort of reason that we didn't play particularly amazing, I think, firstly, there was no motivation. Like, we have already qualified for the knockout stages in first, pretty much. We've already done it, like, 9 points now. But so I don't think that there was much motivation to go out and be like, yes, we have to win this match or anything. And I think there was more of that against BODO-GLIMT. You know, it was a European game at the Emirates, and everyone wants to, you know, impress. And it would have been a game that put us to the top of the group. But this game, yeah, it didn't really have that much importance, unfortunately. So, yeah, it just didn't really... I don't know. If you really need an excuse for why it wasn't that entertaining, then I guess that's why it is. But yeah, I just do think BODO-GLIMT aren't a team that are in the level of us. Like, I don't even mean to say that in a rude way, but there was just an obvious BODO-GLIMT, Arsenal, here's BODO-GLIMT, here's Arsenal. And we're just kind of seeing the game through. Almost like we're playing the match for the sake of playing the match and getting it done. Because, you know, you have to. But, you know, I didn't think it was a terrible thing. I just thought that's how it is, right? Anyway, what else? Yes. My man of the match. Well, my man of the match is this man over here, Matt Turner. I mean, you know, that's what I mean. Like, I wouldn't particularly give anyone man of the match, but, sorry, I've just, okay. Yeah. So I wouldn't particularly like want to give anyone man of the match for like a standout performance, but one performance I thought was quite impressive was Turner, and it's really nice to see a goalkeeper who's able to make pretty good saves, which he did, good decision making skills, which he did, some good distribution, which he did, and was also a bit of a leader, which he was, and the fact that he's got all those qualities as a keeper that's on our bench is really nice to see, because if Ramsdale is to get injured tomorrow for 3 games or 2 games or whatever, as long as it's not a long-term injury, I don't think I'm that stressed, because honestly, if you looked at Matt Turner's performance today, it was pretty good. He didn't really do anything wrong, and yeah, that's a good thing, right? Let's talk about is there anyone that I want to mention here that I thought stood out? Okay, back to Arsenal. Back to Arsenal. No, but yeah. I don't know. Usually I go on to talk about the referee, about the crowd, but to be honest, there was no real events. Like, there was the 2 yellow cards, and 2 yellow cards here and then 2 yellow cards here. I think Turner's one maybe was a bit like, was he really time wasting? Do we really care that much to be time wasting? Maybe. Like, overall, what I can take away from this performance, like, if we're saying like 5 things we'd learn or something, not 5 things obviously, but let's say the big takeaways I think from this performance. Turner is a really good backup, and I'm happy we have him. We are through now to the knockouts. So that's 2. Nelson maybe is not as ready as we thought. That's 3. Ben White might turn into an actual right back. There's 4. And I don't know. I don't know. I can't even think of a 5th one. That's what I mean. This game was so just average. It was just really average. And you got to remember, BODO-GLIMT actually kind of needed to win that match. I don't know if I can... But if PSV beat Zurich, PSV will be on 1 game less played. And will be 3 points ahead. Right? But if they lose, there's still a chance that BODO-GLIMT go through. I mean, it's just a bit... I think they know they're not going through. And to be honest, I think BODO-GLIMT are quite similar in terms of quality with Zurich, which maybe is a bit of a mockery, but it's just my opinion. And yeah, a good match. We played well. We got the result. There was no complaints from me. And yeah, if you guys thought anything in particular stood out, because I didn't, right? I haven't mentioned anything. This must be really boring. I do apologise, but I do want to make a video on every single Arsenal video, and this is one of them. I have to make a video on it, and I'm going to talk about it, and these are my thoughts. Not much happened. If you thought that something happened, please let me know in the comment section down below. I would like to know. And if you enjoyed somehow, if you enjoyed this more than the match, like the video and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.